Okay. So what did I do? I said this on Monday, but I'm going to repeat it right now. This is also on the guide that I'm linking right here in chat. That you can find on my YouTube channel. That's just the basic trading guide, which sums up everything that I learned from zero to Plex. And so what I did and what I recommend you do if you want to just follow along in this challenge is to create a brand new account. Just create an alpha account, preferably with my code. Here's my code. But also you can also invite yourself and do a recruit a friend yourself. And then what you do is you create 3 characters. Now I recommend you putting the 3 characters in Jita, in Amar, and in Dodixie, but you can put it basically anywhere. And when I say anywhere, I mean also in like Rents and Heck, and that's about it. So I wanted to have everything done for today, 3 characters all the way done, but I only got 2 done because I was still recovering from cold and working and everything. So we have 2 characters that we can trade with, but I'm just gonna log into Zoz. Zoz is German, and he's going to be the one that's stationed in Jita, and he hasn't done anything, right? He hasn't done any trading whatsoever, and you can see that what he has is just 17 million ISK. And 17 million ISK is what you get from just running the career missions and just selling all the shit that you got from the career missions. So you get a whole bunch of ships, you get a whole bunch of modules, and you just take it to Jita, you sell it, and then you end up with more or less 17 million ISK. In order to do that, ideally, when you start the account, the first thing you do is you go to social and you train social and negotiation. Excuse me, I'm still coughing. What you do is you do this because negotiation will increase your the money that you get from the missions by 10%, which is a big deal. So you'll get about $1.5 million more starting capital through that, and then social will have your faction gains increase quicker, which you might as well do, right? And so definitely. So Matthew is saying in chat, which is a very, very important thing, right? Definitely join a zero tax corp before you do that, for sure. My corp, this corp right here that I'm linking in chat, is Pecunia Infinita. You can just join that. I let anyone in that wants to go in there. You just apply to that, and typically every day you get approved. If you don't get approved, you know, join my Discord and hit me up and I'll approve you. You can just join that corp, and then immediately you have a 0% tax corp, and you don't give any of your hard-earned ISK to an NPC corp, which is just dumb. Or you create your own corp, whatever you want, right? So once you've done that, and once you've finished all your shit, then you trade these 3 skills, which are the only trading skills you can trade as an alpha. You do the broker relations, you do the marketing, and then you do the trade, right? Marketing lets you do remote sell orders. Broker relations gets your broker fees down a little bit, and trade gets you a few more orders and is a prerequisite for these guys. So yeah, Sand, you can also create your own and share your wallet across tunes. I purposely do not share my wallet across tunes because I want to see how the various trade hubs are working in comparison to each other. So I actually keep them separate wallets so that I see, okay, Jita gets 60% of the profit and Dodixie only 30%, because that's data that I desperately need. So that's the skills. And then you end up in Jita with an industrial ship. You've sold everything else, and then you have 17 million ISK that you can invest. And then what you do is you take that 17 million, and my recommendation is you pick 10 items out there that you invest the 17 million ISK in, by putting buy orders in the player-owned station. That's one jump from there. So right here, you see here, I'm in Jita. But you're gonna put the buy orders in perimeter. So what you have to do as an alpha is you actually have to fly over there. On my other character that's in the Mar, I've already done that. So maybe the better thing to do is actually to log off and log back on to the Mar character. Let's see here, Oz Amari, and we'll check it out over there. Actually, guys, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take like a 1-minute break because I'm gonna get a cough drop so I don't keep coughing the entire time. And so I will be back in 2 minutes. Stay tuned. Just 1 second. Alright, while we'll do that, we can catch up with chat. I have a character for only buy orders and character for only sell orders. Okay. For sure, Shikoken is right with the saving the 1 million SP until... You don't need the 1 million SP for... So, to create trade alphas don't need SP. Like, they just don't need SP. You train everything you need in 1 day and that's it. Also, with the login challenges and the skill challenges that are going on, you get so many skill points anyway while just doing the career missions that even it covers everything instantly. You don't need any time to train anything. I transferred ISK order to never. Oh shit! I added 3 extra zeros. Yeah. Well. Talk amongst ourselves. Yeah. What if I want to have it trained in 2 clicks, Oz? I don't know what you're talking about, but you can already get it trained in 2 clicks if you just get the login challenge, the login rewards, or the skill challenge that are going on. Training for alpha, yeah, you don't. I mean, yeah, whatever. A day or 2 to train, yeah. That's well, it really depends on your play skills. So the career missions take about 2 to 3 hours to do. So that's why I didn't get everything done. So to get 3 characters trained up in the career missions, you need 6 to 9 hours, which is not to be underestimated. But you know, you do it once and then you have it set up to trade. Obviously, the whole career missions thing is only if you don't have any capital, right? If you already have capital and you give your alphas capital, then you don't need to do the career missions. You just take 3 characters, put them there and give them money, right? The only reason I am doing this on stream is because I want to make this realistically as possible for brand new players, so they don't say, oh, but you already have 1 billion ISK. No, I'm doing this from scratch. This is a real challenge, so that's the only reason I'm doing it. Cool? Alright. And then then we have... Do I think I can PLEX in less than a month? Yeah, of course. I'll show you. When I don't get cough drops stuck in my teeth. Okay. So, we have 3 characters. They each have like 15 to 17 million ISK. So a total of like 40, 50 million ISK or something. And then we're going to pick 10 items for each of them, right? And like I did that on Monday, I'm probably not going to do a ton of items on stream today, but I'm going to show you how to pick the items, and then I'll show you the items that I already picked today, this afternoon. So this afternoon I started showing a few of them, and you can see one here, right? These are the trades that I already did this afternoon. This afternoon I got this this character ready, and then I just picked 2 or 3 items and started trading, right? And you can see like Drone Link Augmenter, right? Tier 1 modules are great for this type of challenge. If you're just starting out trading and you don't have a lot of capital, look at tier 1 modules, because you find something like this, right? This is an item. You see it's about 200 to 500 traded each day. You can see that most of the orders fulfilled as sell orders, because the orange dots are at the top of the channel. That typically means that most of this is just sell orders being fulfilled. But I checked on Adam for Eve, and on Adam for Eve, I saw that there are a few sell to buys, right? A few of them. And so I said, I'm just going to test this. And you can see just from today, excuse me, just from today, you can see that if you look at this item alone, and remember, this is just me in the afternoon dicking around. This is Drone Link Augmenter buying a few for 201 and selling them immediately for 391, and then buying some more for 201. So this is almost doubling your money from one order, right? So if you can, in the beginning, if you can just do that times 10, then you can pretty much double your money every day, at least. So in the beginning of this, that's going to be your goal. Your goal is going to be, 100% items, finding 10 of them and doing that every day. And it's really not as difficult as you think. The thing you're going to run into, the barrier you're going to run into, is not finding 100% margin items. There's a ton of 100% margin items out there. The thing is, they have to be big enough for you to be able to sell 1 million of them a day. And that means that they probably need to have like a 10 million a day trade volume, so that you're only getting 10% of the daily trade volume, depending on the competition that you're facing in that trade hub. But yeah, so this is one example. The Drone Link Augmenter. Let's see what else. Right here, this happens as well. This is another item that works really well. A heavy infectious scope energy neutralizer, faction item, not faction item, but a named item, a meta item, and obviously here I got outbid, right? So I'll just go in here and get the top again. But you look at an item like this, and if you zoom all the way in, you can see a nice spread of the dots. So this gets bought a lot, gets sold a lot. Lately it's getting bought a lot and sold less, but it doesn't really matter, because the spread on this is about 200%. So or at least 150%. So if you can get a few buys on this, you can easily double your money on them. And so the secret is not necessarily finding the 100% items. The secret is finding the big 100% items and those that work. And I specifically didn't go back to the items that I used in my last challenge, because I wanted to find new items, because I wanted to go through the entire process of trying items, seeing if they work, and if they don't work, drop them and find new ones. And that's what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks, is helping you identify those items, showing you how to identify them, and then also showing you how to drop them when they're not working. Yeah. So, Cassiopeia, you're lurking. Welcome, dude. Once you can spare a little capital, it can be worth grabbing a basic VPO for a few 100k and just research it for a week. Well, yeah, Shikoken, but I'm not in this challenge. I'm not doing anything but station trading, right? I'm not doing any other thing, because yes, of course, there are other activities in the game that you can do, right? I mean, if you wanted to, you could also. There's much more lucrative things to do as an alpha, probably. But what I want to show people is something that they can do with very, very low effort. And yeah, researching BPO might be it, but then Yes, Shikogan, but don't underestimate. That's another thing people have to learn, right? So that's another thing people have to read up on. That's another thing that people are going to analyze to death before actually going in there and making ISK. So I want to make this as easy as possible to do this. But yeah. Yeah, but I know you can do that. You suck so much at trading in this game. Zero skill gaming. You're fine. You'll be fine, dude. This is really easy. This will be every day. No, this I stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So, Mikey, the question that we do get a lot, that I do get a lot, is wouldn't there be less competition in Rens or Hack? It's just a trade-off. Jita has a ton more markets that are viable. So, yes, there is more competition in Jita, but there's also 1,000 times more items that you can trade in, because there are so many items that outside of Jita, the markets are so small that you can't even get a trade done, that it basically cancels each other out. I recommend, from my data from like 10 years, Jita is always king. Jita is always king. If you have one character, you go to Jita, because I can make you rich in Jita so much quicker than anywhere else. It's insane. Yeah. Sorry, I've got cough drops stuck on my teeth now. So yeah. Those are 2 items that I did here, but let me show you how I found those items, right? So let's go do some Adam for Eve shenanigans. If you don't know Adam for Eve, this is Adam for Eve .eu, right? Make sure you put .eu, not .com. The other one is an adult store. And you click up here and you go to the margin finder. This is one way of doing this. And what we're doing is we are basically, first of all, we're taking out all the filters that are in here. And then let's start with ship modules, right? Modules. Type category modules, and you can delete that. And let's go to, we're in a MAR right now, so let's do a MAR, right? No, not a MAR. The region is the Forge, not the Forge domain. And we start with that, right? So this is basically so Lunatic, my mod got your message. I'm gonna allow it anyway. So what you see here is the biggest margins that you have in the game, but this doesn't help us a lot, because what we want is we want items that are at least trading a little bit, right? That are not they're at least trading, like, let's say twice an hour. So let's put the daily trades minimum at 50. And as I said earlier, if you want to make 1 million of profits a day on it, there's got to be at least 10 million traded each day. So I'm putting 10 million in here. So now we've narrowed it down a little bit. Give me 1 second. These are literally the worst cough drops in history. Okay. They get stuck everywhere. And I saved you watching that. So now we're looking at in domain all modules that are trading at least 10 million and have at least 50 trades a day. Okay? So now we still have crap in here, right? You still have crap in here that that will be just bad data, or will just you know, have something wrong about it. So I never believe like extreme numbers like that. That's probably not going to work. But we're going to have a look at these items right here. So medium thermal shield reinforcer right here. This looks like, you know, there's no buy orders and there's sell orders here. Let's see if that works, right? So let's grab some of these, and I take them in the game and I analyze them based on the in-game graph. What do we have here? Why is this doubled up? Are you guys seeing this? It's like the same item doubled up. There's some serious shenanigans going on with the in-game. Are you guys seeing this? I put this in here, and this is the same items. The same item coming up twice. Shit. Okay. It's the same. At least it's showing the same data. It'd be fucked up if that was twice. Yeah. Right. Those cough drops make me hallucinate. That's right. So we're going in here, and what we're seeing is, yep, so insane margin. Okay, so let's look at the graph. Okay, so here's the problem, right? What this says is this: the orange dots are only at the top. So this is an item that only gets sold and rarely gets sold to buy orders. It only gets bought from sell orders. So if you put a buy order in here, you can do that, but you're probably gonna have a very, very tough time getting it fulfilled. So not a good item, right? Back to the drawing board. And I showed this on Monday as well. There are different ways to go about this, but at some point you're gonna have to go in the game and check. You can check the sell to buy and buy to sell if you change domain to one station. So if I put in here just Amar trade hub, then we can see here the sell to buy and buy from sell spread, but the problem will be that the margins will be off because this will not be considering buy orders from a shop, which are very, very very prevalent. So this that's why I put this still as domain, and I look at the items here, and I go back in here. So anyway, the reason this is a problem is because it's a rig. So what I do in my alpha challenges, I try to stay away from rigs because rigs are produced. And so as Kyle is saying, this is pretty going to be a rare thing. So I stay away from rigs, and I stay away from tier 2 items as well, because tier 2 items have very low margins and are not great for our alpha challenge because they also get produced. So we're going to look for something like, I don't like these capacity boosters. I checked them earlier today. They're no good. Let's see, the stasis X5 enduring stasis web of fire. This looks nice. Let's check that out. Zero Skill Gaming, thank you for that Prime subscription, man. Oh yeah, look at that. Hey, we haven't had any subscriptions today, so thank you for that first subscription. Typically we do a giveaway when we hit the weekly subscription goal, which we hit on Monday. So today the next goal would be 20 subscriptions. Either way though, because we have quite a few viewers, let's do another giveaway. I'll do one just sponsored by me. We're gonna give away an EIF share of 115 million, or worth 116 million right now. Give me 1 second and I will launch that. It's starting now. It's 15 minutes. Big Lord. Hell yeah, dude. Cheers, man. That emote is so good because it's cheers. It's so good. Exclamation mark raffle is the way to enter, for sure. Mikey, thank you for that Prime subscription, man. Hell yeah. Appreciate that, dude. X5 enduring stasis web of fire is what we wanted to test in game. So here, the reason I'm going through this whole process together with you is because I want to show you how to identify good and bad items, right? So if you guys are veteran traders that are usually hanging out here a lot of times, then then obviously this is going to be a little boring to you. That's why I'm doing it at the end of the stream. So if you don't want to listen to this, then feel free to Machine Culture. Thank you for that Prime subscription, man. Hype train, dude. Hype fucking train. Look at that. Thank you, guys. The X5 Enduring Stasis Web of Fire is not bad. It's got a very wide channel. This means that the wide channel means that it has a very big margin typically, because the channel represents the spread between the typical the lowest buy order or the highest buy order and the lowest sell order, and so this is where the market is happening. And the problem with this item though is that the daily quantity is about 300. And the item is just too cheap, right? I mean, it's selling in a MAR for about 14,000. So if you have 14,000, times 300, this market is just 4.2 million, which is probably too small. But on the upside though, there isn't a lot of competition going on for this item either. So this is actually an item that could that could work if you're a brand new player and starting out, because you're gonna put a buy order in here. Nobody has put a buy order in here in this week at all. This guy is the last one, like 4 days ago. You can put a buy order in here for 3.7, and you're gonna be able to buy a ton of them, and you are going to be able to sell them for about 14k. So you can triple your money, but there's not a lot of volume in there in there overall. So back to the drawing board. Let's check it out. So Kyle, let me just stop you there, because Kyle, we understand that there are a lot of strategies that you can employ when you have a few billion, and there's a lot of strategies. This stream is specifically, at least the second hour, for alpha characters that are learning the market, and that will have a very few ISKs to employ. So that's who these strategies are great for, right? Typically, over the last few months, my typical stream is geared towards, you know, multi-billion investment traders. What we're doing now is we're going to be following very, very basic strategies that anyone can replicate, right? Let's look at let's turn this around a little bit. Let's look at bigger markets, and this is sorted by the amount of ISK traded, and let's look at in turn what items have a large margin right here. As I said, I don't want Tech 2 items, so I'm not going to follow the Light Missile Launcher 2. I am going to have a look at the Fleeting Compact Stasis Web of Fire. How about that one? All right, dude, Kyle, what you should do then is, Kyle, you should create a stream, right? And go stream that shit, and then people can watch your stream, right? Because you spend all day on Discord already saying how you're a better trader than I do, so why don't you go stream that shit, dude? I want to see it. All right. Fleeting Stasis Web of Fire. Let's look at the graph. This one's better. This one's better because we have spread out orange dots right here, right? Not only is this trading fairly low right now, but we have dots at the bottom of this, and then we have a few dots at the top, so you can see that sell orders and buy orders are being fulfilled. You can put a buy order out here for about 5,800, and the lowest sell order in MAR is about 20,000. So you're gonna have a crazy margin out there. The total market value on here is going to be a little higher. It's about, the daily traded volume is 274, right? And This is about, I don't know, 5 to 6 million traded a day. So yeah, that's going to be probably a good item to trade in. Fleeting compact status verifier if you're just starting out and investing your money. Let's keep on going though. I'll try to identify a few better ones even. Like I said, rigs and tier 2 items I wouldn't. Here you see the drone link augmenter 1, which is a fantastic item to trade in. This is the one that I was already trading in. Dweeb, so exploration loot like data cores or salvage. Yeah, so typically for alphas, data cores and salvage is probably not a good item to trade in, because exploration loot, it gets traded a lot, but the margins are very, very thin, right? So on my Omega account, where I do very, very large trading of hundreds of billions, salvage is great because you can turn around large amounts, but and the small margins are good for that because you're still making billions. But for an alpha, we're looking for items that have margins of over 100% margin, and that's going to be probably tier 1 modules. It's going to be low-level insignias. It's going to be criminal tags. That sort of stuff. So, for example, let's see here. These ones are good, but the spread's kind of low. Let's see. Going through these. 100 MN afterburner. That looks good. Let's check out that one. You have an afterburner. The spread is okay, so mostly sold to buy orders, and lately the pricing has been erratic. About 250 traded each day at a nice price, so the market is definitely big enough. And you can see here the margin is over 100%. So this is a great item actually. This is for this type of challenge. If you're just starting out and you're a new fresh alpha and you're investing 10 to 20 million. This is actually fantastic because you will not have a very big issues trying to get the buy orders fulfilled, and then you'll be also fine to post sell orders at 160. So this is good. I can just to make this complete and to show those that maybe never trade how I would set up the trade. So I'm not. This is the Amar character, and I'm not in Amar itself. I am in a shop actually at the Tranquility Trade and Production Center. The reason I'm here is because right here I can put buy orders in for 1% broker fee, and that is a fraction of what it would be in Amar itself. So that's why we put all the buy orders here. And what we do is, you can see here, everyone else has already put buy orders in a shop as well. What we do here is we right click this order that is in a shop where we are at right now, and we say place a buy order. And even though this is an alpha, I'm able to put a range of 1 jump right here, right? And that means that everyone selling in Amar can sell to my buy order. And most people sell in Amar. So most people are going to be selling to my buy order in Amar, and so it will get fulfilled there and the items will be dropped there. If I put a buy order in here for 72,460 right here, then I'm outbidding this guy I'm putting this to 3 months because there's no reason to not put a buy order for 3 months. That's just it's been a bug and oversight for the longest time in this game. There should be a trade-off for putting a longer duration on your orders, but there isn't. There's just no downside. So you always put the duration at 3 months, and you put the range at 1 jump because we're in a shop. And then if you're doing the challenge like I am, this is a character that only has 17 million just from the basic career mission, so it's a 1-day-old character. Then I'm trying to spend about 1 million on each order, right? So what we can do here is like, I don't know, buy like 15 of them, and we'll see what happens. 72, 460. I'm gonna refresh this just because I'm going to expect someone to stream snipe this. And so we'll put the buy order in here in the shop, and then you see I'm putting the buy order right here, and if this gets fulfilled, we can turn around right away and put a sell order for 159 in the shop and have a pretty good chance of selling these because they are a fairly commonly traded item. All right. Hey Oz, I wanted to ship stuff between hubs. What minimum volume should I aim to have already shipped before I make a courier contract? And 2, is it still viable to ship Amar to Jita with the old road closed up? So Matthew, the only thing I ship ever. Oh, actually, let me check on the, before I do that, let me check on the raffle. Guys, there's 2 minutes left on the raffle. If you just joined, !raffle to win a share worth 116 million, right? Then you don't have to do this whole shit. You just take the share and run. Let me go back to the question. The only time I ship is for this type of challenge is, so if I'm creating a new trader account, is I ship between the trade hub and the actual the place where orders get fulfilled. Because if you put a buy order with 1 range, then 90% gets fulfilled in the trade hub, and then some stuff ends up somewhere else. So every once in a while I ship stuff from one to the other, and for that you really don't have to wait that long, because people will actually ship stuff between within 1 jump. People will ship stuff for next to nothing, so you can actually get that done fairly quickly. So it's not like I wait for a lot of volume. It's more like once a week or every 2 weeks I just do that, depending on whether I need the cash or not. Your second question, is it still viable to ship Amar to Jita with the old route closed up? No, the only thing I ship between the two is very small items. So that's why if I'm trading big style in hundreds of billions, then I buy, insignias, tags, salvage goods, drone parts, stuff that is very, very small. That stuff is worth it to ship between Amar and Jita because it's so small that you can pay people to run it in like an Insta-aligned Sunesis or something, or in an Interceptor even. You can pay people to do that. And that works. But like shipping like holes between, no, that's not worth it. That's why prices are going nuts in Amar, and that's why there are so many opportunities to be had in Amar right now. Zero Skill Gaming, can you explain shops again? I had to step away and never heard of that. Sorry, what do you mean by shops? I am stumped. It might be just my funny German accent that I said shops. If your prices change and your long orders are kind of mad. Well, yeah, I mean, how often do I? So that's kind of like the same as the question. How often do I update orders? I update orders once a day. So I make it my rule to not spend more than 15-20 minutes a day trading. So I just do it once a day. And with that, I'm extremely successful doing that because I don't worry too much about being outbid, right? If you check once every hour and update your order, you're always going to be outbid. Because you're going to miss those whole times when people come in and dump a whole bunch of items onto the market. also hitting your order. Also hitting your order that's maybe 2 or 3 down, but you're still getting hit. So you're better off not worrying about it for 24 hours because you're just saving time. And time is money, guys. Time is so much money. Your time is so much more valuable than updating your orders once an hour. Yes, if I'm doing the alpha challenge, sometimes it makes more sense on this type of stuff to update it every once in a while, especially if I stream the stuff and I get outbid all the time just because I'm streaming it. Then I might do it twice a day, but these alpha characters only have 17 orders, so it's very, very quickly to update orders. So maybe then I'll do it twice a day just to get some stuff moving, because here I don't have the luxury of having, you know, a trillion ISK lying around that I can invest. That is true. If you don't have a lot of capital, you might have to do it more than once, but hey, it's so much better to not burn out on trading and having a good time than making a few more ISK. That's I truly believe in that. Okay. All right. No Jar Jar to run an interceptor through anymore. Yeah, that's right. No, I mean like doing the long route, the wrong 50 jump round. People still do that if you pay them enough money. But yeah, but there's tons of opportunities to be had just station trading in Amar now. So that's totally fine. I mean, there's really like regional trading is one thing, right? But on this alpha challenge, I will never regional trade. On this alpha challenge, it's just station trading. I'm just station trading within stations, and that's how I will take it to 2 billion. I won't ship anything except between the one jump. I thought you said a buy order at a shop due to lower percentages. Oh yeah. So what you do, Zero Skill Gaming, you put your buy orders in a player-owned station, one jump from the trade hub. That's what you have to do in order to save a bulk of the broker fees, because they're about a third or fourth of the broker fees if you put buy orders in Jita or Amar, which you should never do. Never ever put buy orders in Jita or Amar. That's just throwing away money, and it also makes you way less competitive. And especially if you're alpha trading, you need those 3 or 4%, because if you relist that item, you're paying that broker fee again, a part of it, and also that's cheaper in the player-owned structure. So you have to do that. Yeah. So Zero Skill Gaming, I don't have to ship. You don't have to ship. You put, that's what I just showed. You put a buy order in here, and you put the range. So look at this window right here. You put the range at one jump, and then it gets fulfilled in Amar. You don't have to ship it. That's the beauty of the visibility skill. Okay. How often will you go to Amar to buy orders? Alex, I don't know what you're talking about. Take a look at Senti A passive armor hardeners. Okay. Okay, Kyle. Fine, dude. You misspelled something. I can't look at them. A-type. You're talking about these ones? The passive ones? The top ones, these ones. Alright. The margin is okay. This volume is way too low, man. This volume is way too low. I would not recommend. Yeah, you trade those in Jita, but we are in Amar. And I would not recommend, like, in Jita, it's totally different orders. What I'm trying to tell people is, how to read fundamentals of the graph and finding a PLEX, dude. And finding an item based on the amount. We'll check it out, Kyle. We'll check it out. We'll check them out on Jita when we are trying on that character there. PLEX, dude. Thank you for that 5-month subscription, man. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you for that support. PLEX is our top sub gifter and an overall pillar of the community. Thank you, man. Really appreciate your support. Oh yeah, I have the chat. I never have the chat window open. Look at that. I think a big flaw in the game is that you cannot permanently close the chat window. Like, that's the first thing I would get rid of, because in-game chat is the biggest shit I've ever seen. And I don't know why you can't get rid of it. I close it, I log back in, and you would think that's like the most basic thing that you would program into the game, but no. Every time I go in, I have to close the chat window. So dumb. Alright, you're gonna get me raged up. So yeah. Yeah, Kyle, I got it. We'll check it out in Jita. Maybe it works over there, as you say. So... yeah, Hypernet scam, that's right. Let's pick a winner, shall we? It's done. We have 72 entries on the raffle, and the winner of the raffle is Bonsai. Dude, I feel like you just recently won, man. I feel like you just recently won. So didn't you, Bonsai? Tell me you didn't just win last week? But yeah. So congrats, dudes. Congrats. We'll do another one here shortly. We'll do another one. Okay. So let's look at some other items that could work very well. We looked at this one earlier already, and these already get smaller, but even the smaller, it looks like the smaller smaller afterburners work as well. These compact afterburners, they work really well because they have a, you know, they have 100% margin on that. They have a very little competition going on, and you have a nice spread here between buy and sell orders. Icon, thank you, man. With 500, yeah, it's a fairly small market. Adam for Eve says about 16 million trading a day. I wouldn't believe that. It's about more like 5 or 6 million a day. But you can flip these easily. The reason for this is that they're very common, but then they're also very useful, because the compact afterburners are the ones that you can fit quite comfortably into ships when you can't fit anything else in there. So they will get bought all the time, and also they will get sold anytime. And the trick, the reason that you can flip items at 100% profit on alpha accounts is that you can buy items from people that really don't give a shit. If people will sell items like that, they don't care whether they're selling it for 100k or 10k. Like, that's like to anyone that's been playing a few months, it doesn't really matter if it's 10k or 100k, and you're not going to bother putting up sell orders and that sort of stuff. So a lot of people just come in there and dump a whole bunch of stuff onto the market, and that's your opportunity as an alpha to double that money. How long would it take you to turn 100 million into 4 billion station trading? I would reckon about six weeks or something with this type of strategy. Probably like 6 weeks. Grim Axe Morpher. You will take the share and also donate one to raffle. Bonsai, dude. Look at you, man. Let's do a raffle then. Let's do another raffle. Raffles are awesome. Okay, we have another raffle going on, starting right now. Topmost window manager. Bustler, how you doing, man? Oh yeah. One of those founder badges, guys. I learned how to buy and sell in this game. Could you use my skills and apply them to the single player game called Life? If I learn how to buy and sell, oh, okay, I get you. I get what you mean. Can you use the skills you learn in Eve to... Yeah, absolutely. So the technical analysis that we do on graphs here is definitely used in real life for stock market analysis, for sure. Absolutely. Anyway, so you saw there like 2 or 3 items. What I will do for the next stream is I will invest in 10 items, and what we'll do on Saturday is we're going to come back and we'll review some of the items that I invested in, and then you can see much better which ones worked out and which ones didn't. Now, my tip is always, if you want to make money, go to Jita. Kind of like Kyle just said, right? I mean, the opportunities are so much bigger because you saw here we had a few markets that were just a little too small. And we'll have to really look for those really good items. But I will show you. We'll go to Jita, right? We'll go to Jita, and I will show you how Jita is much better to find those items. Let me just catch up with chat real quick. How long do you set buy orders and sell orders? Zero skill gaming always 3 months. You have to put the buy and sell orders at 3 months because anything under 3 months is just dumb. There's no repercussion for it. Just 3 months. Always. I'm only just getting into trading right now, and I'm on alpha. How do I tell if an item is good or bad to trade? Blood Moon, I would say you rewind this for about an hour and then just watch the stream, because that's what we just spend an hour talking about. But also, you can just do, as Matthew said, the exclamation mark guide will take you to a guide that will explain exactly what to look for. I also have a video that's called, let me see, can I link that? I have a video that's called detailed guide to finding items on blah blah blah. What's it called? Here, detailed guide on identifying the best trade items in Eve, with 999 views right there. Here. And what I'll do is I'm gonna paste this in here. That video right there is a good place to start. It's fairly long, I think. It's about an hour long, but it explains how I go and find items. And so, yeah, someone watch it. And it's a really good watch because I go through all the steps on identifying items on Item for Eve and then reading the graphs in game, and it's just overall useful. Go away, agency. Okay. So, if we went to Adam for Eve again, yeah, there's a raffle going on. Do exclamation mark raffle if you want to take part in that. If we take this and apply it to the Forge, right? We were in domain. We're gonna apply it to the Forge. Now remember, more than 80% of all trade in game is done in Jita. Jita is the absolute top spot in trade hubs. So you're going to have an exorbitant amount of opportunities that you don't have anywhere else, because there's a ton of items that get bought and sold in Jita that somewhere else will have just trickling markets. So that's why Jita is so awesome. If you don't know what the trade hubs are, may I recommend right here, I'm linking my podcast. I just recently did a podcast episode on trade hubs where we talk about the different trade hubs and also the significance of player on trade hubs. Question from Ultra Noob Trader. If I sell an item over 3 months and I end up having to change the price, doesn't it charge you a broker fee or some fee every time you change the price? Yeah, zero skill, but if you do it for 1 week and it expires and you relist it, you pay even more. So there's no reason not to put it at 3 months. So there's literally, just trust me, there's no reason to do it less than 3 months. Absolutely no. So we changed this. Did we change it to the forge? Not yet. The forge. 50 and 10 million, same thing. And we look at the spreads. And this is just looking at modules, and you can look at, let's say, things like the, like this one. Let's look at the Malkuth heavy missile launcher, yeah? In Jita. Let's have a look at that graph, and we'll analyze it together. Okay, no, terrible item. I mean, it's a good item, and lately you've actually been able to get some buy and sell orders in here, but mostly this is just dumped to buy orders, so you'll have a very, very tough time selling this. It gets sold every once in a while, but you'll have a tough time selling it. On the upside, though, if you do get a buy order fulfilled, you'll have a 1000% margin, which is nice. You can try to see how it performs, but it's going to be difficult. Also, you have the competition of about 10 people. So the reason I say competition of 10 people is because if you look at the expiry date right here, you can see that within the past day, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people updating the order. So there's 10 people actively trying to get these to buy. So yeah, this is good. But this is an interesting item, but not one that you're gonna make a ton of money on. Let's look at this one. This one, big margin. Oh, it's too cheap though. Actually, I'm gonna do. Can we do a minimum buy price? We can. This one's it's too cheap. I don't like it. I'm gonna up this to. Let's see if we can up this to 50 million and see if that still works. Okay. Right here. Look at this. Heavy Gremlin compact energy neutralizer. I up this to 50 million a day. Make sure that we have items that are moving, right? Those are your holy grail. Oh, awesome. Oh, fantastic. Okay. So this is an item where the price just recently exploded. So that's why right now you have a big spread in here. But you're not running a big risk as an alpha because you're not investing a ton of money in here. So you can put buy orders in here. Yeah, there's a lot of competition in there, but maybe you can get lucky and get some items fulfilled. There's a big enough trade volume that the market moves, and the margin is absolutely insane on here, right? So this is something that you could possibly make a lot of money. It's one of those that where you do have competition though, so you have to try and see how it performs. Let me catch up on chat. Yeah, if it's not selling, yeah, sure. If you can't get orders fulfilled, you just let it go. You just move on to the next item. That's why it's so important to use something like this, right? If you're new to the stream, here's the link to the trade sheet, right? If you don't know how to create trade spreadsheets, use my spreadsheet that I created that you can download right there. Just save a local copy and open it in Google Sheets, and it looks like this, and it will tell you which items are making money and which ones aren't making money, and you need to look at that every day and then dump those items that are not making money, right? Because if you're trading in a lot of items, you're gonna get you're gonna lose track of them, and you're not gonna know which items are good. So starting on Saturday, I will show you the items that I've traded in the 0 to PLEX challenge, and I will be comparing profits that we've made, and then we'll make decisions based on the sheet. Just today is the first day and we haven't really put in any trades. Yeah. But yeah, for scrap process, yeah, you can buy it for scrap process. It's just not something that I cover on stream. The buy orders, you set the minimum at 1. I always keep the minimum at 1 because I don't mind just buying one. It's not more work for you, so just keep it at 1 is my recommendation. Is it in the tutorial how to use the sheet? There's a video that covers. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's a video that shows you an introduction on how to set up the sheet. And also, as Bustler just said, join the Discord. There's a Discord channel to get support on exactly that. We have a great community that will help you with that. But yeah, let's look at a few more items here before we wrap up. What's this? The heavy modulated energy beam, is that any good? Okay, so this is another item that's just it's just exploded in value, so that's why the this is very similar to the other one. Oh, I didn't click on it. Yeah, good stuff, Oz. So this one's a bit better. You might be able to get some sell orders fulfilled here now and then. It's going to be easy to get buy orders fulfilled. The competition is low. This is just like 1 or 2 people trading in it. This is nice. And you can get a 300% or 250% margin on this. So this is a good item. Good item. Move on. You traded those lasers like 10 years ago, back when everyone was noobs and used meta stuff most of the time. Yeah, good stuff, man. I mean, so let me explain one thing to you, right? Why we're going through this. The reason I'm showing you Adam for Eve is because if you have no idea about the market, this is what everyone can use, right? This is something that you can do to find items. Once you're like me and you have 10 years of data, you already know which items are good, right? Because you know which items you've made profit on various accounts and characters, etc. And then you just trade in that. But if you're just starting out, then Adam for Eve is your friend. So what I'll do on Saturday as well, I'll share some of the items that I know are good and that we'll be trading in based on my experience, not only Adam for Eve. But today I wanted to start with basic analysis of items to see whether they're good or not. Okay, let's look at some more stuff. The particle accelerator, is that also? Yeah, that's quite good. So the particle accelerator right here, very big margin. You actually have some sell orders fulfilled, constant volume. And the margin is insane, obviously, completely insane. So you can buy this for 12 and sell it for 200,000. So yeah, this one's really good. Yeah, a lot of the stuff is covered in my podcast as well. So make sure you listen to that podcast if you want to hear the basics. The thermal shield reinforcer, is that a rig? That's a rig. We don't want that. It's probably bad. Although, let's see here. Yeah, no, the rigs are just bought from sell orders because that's people. You can do exclamation mark podcast for the download link. Let's see here. Small bay loading accelerator. That's another rig. Never mind. These are all rigs. Interesting. Large Higgs anchor. Nope. So if you see items like this, right, you immediately see it's a bad item because immediately the orange dots are all at the top because people are selling this only to buy order. This is a rig again, obviously, but it's people just building it and selling it to buy orders. You will never get a sell. They're selling it. They're selling it to. Whew, it's been 2 hours. This is just bought from sell orders. It's never sold to buy orders, so you're never gonna have a chance there. But look at here, 150 millimeter. No, those are not good. Those are not good. Let's see here. Expanded probe launchers. Interesting. Nice. Good item here. So, expanded probe launchers, you'd think, hey, very basic item, right? I'm never going to make any money on it. But if you just have $1 million to invest, this is high volume. High volume. Yeah, it's mostly bought from sell orders, but you can grab a buy order every now and then. You can see that here. And the margin's not bad. The margin's like 80%. So this is very, very easy to trade. And so yeah, good item as well. You can do that. And again, the way you do these is you find an order that is in perimeter, you right click, you place a buy order, you make this advanced if you're just starting out. You click on remember settings. And again, this is a fresh alpha character, right? That's why he hasn't done any of this. You see here it's in perimeter. You see the current buy order would be 15,020 to buy at 46% below regional average. The quantity, you look at this daily quantity right here, it's it fluctuates between like, I don't know, 500 and 1,000, right? So we want to let's see, if we want to invest like $1 million because that's how much. We have 17 million, so we want to spread about 10, so we can do about 1.5 million an item. So either way, just for shits and giggles here, we'll do oh yeah, and I'm in Jita. I would have to be in perimeter. That's so if you're just starting out, you have to move your alpha character once to perimeter, and then you can put in buy orders from there. And don't worry, you don't have to go back to Jita because you can remotely sell for all those buy orders that you then put in perimeter. You can have a sell order out in Jita and put that up remotely, and you never have to leave perimeter. So with an alpha character, you basically live in the player on structure in a shop or or in perimeter. And I'm gonna fly over there after the stream, and then we'll check that out. Cool. Okay. How many jumps you put buy orders? One. Never put more than one, because you want to trade in items that are trading frequently, and any more than one, you're just gonna have a mess all over the place. You need one. Yeah, the right click to buy, the right click saves so much time if you do a right click, and it also keeps you from making a mistake of putting a buy order in the wrong place, right? So you wanna pick a perimeter order and then right click place order, because then everything is set for you. But this, not immediate, but 3 months. But I have to go. I'm an alpha character right here. It's a fresh alpha, and so I have to go to perimeter to put that order in. If you're an oracle, you can if you're an oracle, if you're an omega, you can obviously do that from everywhere, because that's easy. Even with one that gets messy over time, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just put courier contracts in once I have a few hundred million everywhere. On the alpha character, you don't have a ton of money to spend, obviously, so sometimes you gotta run around. But hey, you know. Hebus, how you doing, man? I'm doing well. I'm doing much better. I've recovered. People seem to dump low-end filaments in all of the stations. Oh yeah, that's a good point. So what I'm definitely going to be doing on this alpha challenge is I'm definitely going to be trading in filaments, because if you look at look at the low level filaments, like the agitated dark or something, very, very high volume, right? People still buy them because people want to test out or want to farm low level filaments. The dark ones are questionable right now. But even these have a huge margin on them. If you go to the more popular ones, like the exotic ones, you can see that the margin gets smaller. It's just like 20%. But every once in a while, I mean, even this, maybe for the alpha challenge, this is not great. But later on, when you're fine with like 20-30% margins, this is a cool item. Like agitated gamma filaments, you can still make nice money. Until then, you might want to stick with like electrical filaments, the agitated electricals that have still a very good margin. and still trade really well. As you can see from this graph, the orange dots are spread out nicely in the gray channel, so this is a very nice item to trade, and you'll have a lot of action going on. You can get buy orders fulfilled. People seem to dump. Oh yeah, Spleenhead. Do you cancel buy order? Never. I never cancel buy orders. Why would I? I update buy orders to go back on top, and then until they run out. Unless I made a mistake or I've just made stupid. Yeah. Max stream. Yeah, I don't know about the... I'm not gonna say that word. The trick space filaments, I don't know. I don't know about them. I haven't even researched them. I haven't... I've been just trying to get the alpha account ready to stream the 0 to PLEX stuff. That's pretty much all I've been doing. So I haven't been able to play around with the new filaments. Yeah, also I don't want to ruin the market. Also, I mean, you basically cannot trade stuff when it comes out. It's always expensive, and then it gets cheaper. So I don't trade and stuff until it gets settled. Yeah. If you're always on top and still don't get buy order fulfilled, you might want to move on to a different item. Absolutely, Bustler. So that's a good point. So at that point, I do sometimes just cancel buy orders, because if an item just doesn't, if it doesn't make any profit over a week or so, then you know, screw it. For sure, that's a good point. Because as an alpha, you have your capital tied up, right? So when I'm regular station trading on my normal accounts, I have a ton of ISK, so it doesn't matter whether I have ISK tied up in the market. I don't notice so much. But obviously, if if they sorry, I was distracted by bonsais. Whoops. If I lost my train of... Oh yeah. If I have an alpha account where I'm taking my entire capital and split it up in 10 items, and an item is not working, then absolutely we have to cancel buy orders. So I take that back. In this type of challenge, absolutely we do. Order limit is also like, you have 17 orders as an alpha, you'll hit that. Okay, hey, raffle is up. And raffle is borked. I gotta reload. So we're gonna pick a winner. We have 65 tickets, and the winner is Acidity 410. Somebody new. That's awesome. Somebody that is new to the stream. I haven't read that name before. Acidity 410. Congratulations. You've won a Aeon share worth 116 million. That I don't know if I understood Bonsai correctly, but I think it's sponsored by Bonsai. Appreciate it, dude. If not, of course I'm paying for it, Bonsai. It is. All right. So, Acidity, make sure you thank Bonsai. You have to be there, though. Acidity, let us know that you're there, at least. Because since you're not a regular, I'm gonna do a redraw if you're not there. I'll give you a few minutes, but if you're not there, then we're gonna do a redraw. Yes. That pretty much wraps up. But hey, I want to wrap up with one thing, and that is going through some of the top items that that we had been doing in the last stream. So in my last challenge, oh, Acidity, you're there. Perfect. Acidity, make sure you join that Discord and you hit me up with a personal number and with a personal message, and leave me your in-game name so that I can give you that. I can buy that share in your name, or Bonsai can, or whatever. So Acidity, say thank you to Bonsai who has sponsored your share. I'll finish with this. So you guys hopefully know by now that in order to track your profits, you have to use a spreadsheet or a tool of one of them out there. And you can just use my spreadsheet. I'll link it here. You can download it and use it if you want to. It's free. I don't gain from it at all. I'm just making it available to the community because I realize there's a lot of people that don't know how to spreadsheet. And so if you use this, you can track your profits. And I already did this challenge once, and at that point in time, I recorded the biggest, most profitable items from back then. And those items, you see here, I think I can pull that sheet up. Sorry for ruining your eyes. We're back on the dark mode. So, in here, there's a tab that says top alpha items on stream. And you can just go in here and look at them. And these are the most profitable items from the last stream. So if you don't know where to start at all, then this is a great place to start. So it's got stuff in here like, I don't know, like fierce electrical filaments. Okay, let's check those out. They're probably too expensive. They're probably too expensive, actually. Oh, I'm spamming my own chat. Shit. It's because I've got several tabs on my on my Stream Deck. By the way, the Stream Deck is courtesy of Frosty Goblin. Thank you again. And the button for hiding that sheet is also the merge store on another sheet. So that's what happens. Yeah, ban me, please. So. Fierce electrical. I have a feeling that this is actually not going to be a good alpha item. It's not. It's got a. This is a nice item for once you have 1 billion or so, then this becomes a nice item because the margin is really nice on it always, and it also fluctuates a lot. So you can buy low and sell high on this really well. But let me give you a better alpha example on these. Let's look at Barista's crystal tags, maybe. So you can tell on these, this used to be a fantastic item. Look at back then when I did this is when back then it's no surprise that back then it was one of my top items because look at that margin, right? This margin was insane. This had a nice spread, a huge margin. This was one of the top items in game to trade as a new player. Now, the margin has thinned. And I don't know if it's because 1,000 people are using my sheet, so they're all seeing those items and they're all trading in it, maybe. But, you know, this is a good place to start. Yeah, right now, not a good margin on it, right? So you can't make a lot of money with it. Let's check out another one. Sancha gold tag. Let's check the Sancha gold tag. Yeah, this is nice enough. So Sancha gold tag is nice because you have a nice steady volume going on. You have again a wide channel, so a big margin. The dots are spread out, so buy and sell orders are being fulfilled. Nice, we like that. And then if you look at the current spread, it's 178 buy and 284 sell. So at least you're getting like a, what is that, a 60% margin or something? So that's a nice place to start. Anyway, maybe if you look at this list, you get some ideas. You can see what type of categories I'm trading in. And on Saturday, we'll jump deeper into categories that really work. I'll jump deeper into how to track your profits in the sheet and everything. Today was just the start, just some of the basics. If you joined late, make sure you review the past hour or so. And also, if you don't know where to start, go to my YouTube channel. There's a playlist called Trading Basics or something like that. Look at those videos, and you can catch up on all the basics, or listen to my podcast. It's called Climbing the Curve. You can download it here. Before we wrap up, let me go to the chat and see what I missed, because I know I missed quite a few messages. Harry Eve, did you say earlier to join a corp to avoid paying tax? Absolutely. So the first thing that I do on all my alpha characters is I invite them to my corp, because my corp is 0% tax. It's just a shell with a 0% tax. So if you don't know what to do on your trading alts, just put them in my corp. Here's the name of it. Exclamation mark corp. Pecunia Infinita. Just I let anyone in. It's just a shell for you to be able to trade at 0%. Because it's not that you pay taxes on the trades. It's that if you're starting out and you're doing the career missions, you're gonna get subtracted 10% on your starting capital. So that's the only reason. Once you're just starting trading, you don't have to join a corp, because then it's not gonna make a difference, Harry. Let me be clear on that. So trading, no difference in 0% corps. Running missions, big difference. The real Purdue, how can we simply buy shares, and what does it do? So join the Discord and you'll see what the shares are all about. The shares are just what I do here. I invest, I have several funds. One is this Aeon fund with 219 billion of the community funds that I just invest, and then I talk about it in the first hour of this stream to look at what are big items that are trading really well right now, what are items that you could invest in, and that sort of stuff. And you can sell the shares and buy them at the first of every month, and so you can make a little bit money on the side while you're learning how to trade together with me. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Oh, Cajun, Sito, thank you for your kind words. You're welcome. How can you buy a share? I just answered that. You can buy sell at the start of the month. Thank you. New players just got a heart attack once you have 1 billion. Yeah, you know, I'll get you to 1 billion within a month for sure. Thank you for the awesome content. You're welcome. You're welcome. No problem at all. This is what I love doing. Which mark are you using? This is the HyperX Quadcast. It doesn't only sound awesome, but it also looks beautiful. If you look at this beautiful mic. Absolutely gorgeous. Corp tax is not related to trade. No, just to missions, as I said. The corp is full. Oh yeah. Oh, the corp filled up today because I added these alpha characters. The character is trading up. Is trading up right now. Training up the corp skill. So the corp will open back up tomorrow. So try applying tomorrow, and I'll let you in. Sorry, it's been a little bit too popular. Okay. One thing, what was the last? Oh yeah, the last thing I wanted to share today is actually I made a trading cheat sheet. So if you guys, I just need to find out how to find it. I am shit at Twitter. Let's see this. We're gonna go to Reddit. This is Triglavian Mike for sure. I also, you can't see this, but I have the lighting concept in my room all red now. It doesn't make a difference on the stream because I have a ring light in my face, but it typically makes a difference. So let me just share this one thing. So guys, I made a cheat sheet, right? Yeah, Tupal, I know this. I just explained that my corp, I just added my alpha character. So the CEO, the Oz, needs to train the skill to let more people in. But I'm going to do that after the stream today. So give me a few hours and the corp will be open again. So I put this cheat sheet together where I cover pretty much everything that I talk about in stream. Yeah, Bonsai, it's the old version because it's the old version on Reddit. I tried to just pull up the new version, get off my back. The new version is on Discord, for example. So just come join the Discord, guys. On the Discord, everything's the world is just better. And on here, you can see the major trade hubs. You can see all the skills that you should train. You can see all the useful third-party tools, a glossary of all the items that you don't understand, possibly when I say them, and some basic recommendations that I recommend for new traders to do, and also sales and broker tags, base and optimal. This will be growing in the future. I want to expand on this, but this is a very, very good resource for you to use. So if you want to use this, just go join the Discord and look under new content, and I have it linked there. I'll probably put it somewhere else, but you can find it on Reddit, on Twitter. I don't know if my Twitter is ever linked here, but I'm sure. Let me see if I can. Yeah, screw it. Oz_in_Eve is my Twitter handle. You can see it at in the opening screen of the this as well, and you can see it linked on YouTube. Okay, that was 2.5 hours today. That was a long stream, but it's because we have a lot of new content, and I feel like we're just scratching the surface. So we will be definitely diving in deeper on this alpha stuff. I will not neglect the other content, so we will still be talking about the Aeon Fund and everything. Yeah, I'll put this on YouTube. This will be a series on YouTube as well, at least the second hour. And other than that, come back on Saturday and we'll pick up where we left off. Okay. Thank you all for joining. It's been